Fags, I guess how's everything been after the win on the weekend and keeping the boys and going and preparing for the Dogs?
Yeah, we move on pretty quickly. We talked about the Bulldogs game straight after the Swans win. We always do that. You haven't got too long to get too excited by performances or too disappointed about performances in AFL. You just have to keep moving on. So that's what we've done, and it's a big challenge going up to Ballarat. Playing on a ground that we've never played on, except for Berry and McCluggage, who played a lot of football on it. But we're looking forward to that. The Dogs are in really good form. They've beaten Richmond last week, and that's no mean feat. So we're going to have to play really well to get a positive result.
What are the challenges of a ground that most of your blokes have never been to?
Yeah, well, every ground has its idiosyncrasies, doesn't it? My understanding is that it rains in Ballarat a little bit and it can get windy, so they'll be challenges. But that's no different to us going and playing Fremantle at Optus Stadium for the first time last year. That's the first time we'd seen that ground, and we were able to adapt. My understanding is the surface up there is magnificent, so it's like all games of footy. You just deal with the conditions that appear on the day. Like rain last week a little bit, so you just got to deal with that, and it'll be no different.
Did you even speak about that, Chris? Because I know it did rain here last weekend, but it's obviously likely to be much colder there, and wind can be a lot stronger. Like, does it come into your game plan and chatting to the team?
Not really, because you can spend a lot of time talking about it and turn up and it's sunny, clear blue skies and no wind. So you just got to see what it is on the day. And I've talked to a few people who've been involved in quite a few games of football on that oval, so I'm sort of aware of what the norm is there. But we'll just wait and see on the day. I don't like to talk about things that may not happen.
Harris Andrews, how's he going this week?
Is
he likely to come in?
Harris is training well. Had a full training week this week, and he's available for selection. We'll do our final selection meeting this afternoon, but he's ready to go.
He's your vice captain, so you would be hard to leave him out. But how difficult is it making those decisions with the team, having won a couple of games when he hasn't been there?
No, he's our vice captain. He's a very, very good player. He's in the amongst the best 3 or 4 tall defenders in the competition. So if he's fit and ready to go, and the medical guys tick him off, which I think they will, then we'll select him.
I guess what I was getting at was the competition for spots. It must be difficult to leave someone out when guys come back.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult to leave somebody out, and it's difficult not to bring blokes in from the NEFL because they're undefeated as well and have been winning their games by pretty big margins. But teams that are winning and they've built connection together, you don't want to break that up. But for someone like Harris, who's been a big part of our team the last few years.
Sort of a couple of questions about Mitch Robinson, Fags, who's in ripping form for you.
This is going to be a worry. What sort of questions are you going to ask about Mitch Robinson?
Firstly, has he had a change of role for you this year, and what's he bringing to the team at the moment?
Yeah, look, he started the year pretty much playing on the wing, and Reece Matheson hurt his hamstring, so we've taken him into the inside mid part of the ground. He can do either. The thing about Mitch is he's just a great competitor, and he brings his best effort every time that he plays. Sometimes he gets a little bit angry and does things that can frustrate coaches, but by and large he does a lot more good than harm, and he's working on his self-control in certain situations. But in terms of a competitor, he's just what we want and need.
And now I understand why you were getting anxious about that question, Fags. What sort of lack of self-control are you alluding to there? On-field stuff?
Sometimes. We saw it last week when he gave away that 50 late in the game. Got a bit angry with an opposition player, and there was another one the week before where he gave away a 50-metre penalty. He went in hard for the footy and went a little bit low and got an opposition player below the knees and was lying on top of the ball and proceeded not to give it back to the opposition player, and it was another 50-metre penalty. So just little things like that. But as I said, by and large, 99.5% of the time, you've got to be happy having a guy like Mitch Robinson in your team.
He's a heart and soul player, isn't he?
He is, and I have a soft spot for him because obviously he's a Tasmanian as well. But he's like at training, him and Dane Zorko, they're the energiser guys. They're always up and about. They bring good spirit to your footy club, and they're gold. Those sorts of guys.
What did you make of Norton's game last week and his season, and how challenging he is to match up against the talented kid like that, but he's still so young and so raw, and the potential's there.
Yeah, that was an outstanding game, wasn't it? Any key forward that takes that many contested marks and kicks that many goals at a young age, that's a pretty special performance. Obviously he's one of 22 Bulldogs players that we need to take account for. We just need to make sure that he doesn't get an easy run at the footy and can use his athleticism like he was able to last week. But huge respect for the way he's developing.
I guess it's perfect timing with Harris coming back to have one of the best defenders in the competition come back and take on a guy who's in good form like that.
Yeah, you're making assumptions that he's actually going to play on him, so we'll wait and see who lines up on him.
What about the challenge of Bontempelli? Like, he's obviously been a star for a few years, but the start of his season, even when the Dogs were struggling, has been exceptional. Can you slow a guy like him down?
Yeah, I notice he's leading the Coaches Association votes, which is a pretty good reflection of somebody that's in form. We've been backing our midfield in pretty much against all comers this year. We obviously have a lot of respect for him, and we'll try and reduce his influence on the game. But again, he's one of a number of good midfielders that they've got: McRae, Liberatore, Wallace. They run pretty deep in there. So our guys are going to have to be on the job and really hunting in and winning the footy themselves.
Zorko, and then what are your sort of thoughts after this deep into his first term as sort of standalone captain?
Oh, he's going particularly well. He probably played his best game for the season last weekend. He was outstanding. But all through the year, he's just been playing his role for the team, setting the example in defensive pressure, leading the way in team meetings. He's the chief encourager around the place. So from our perspective, his leadership is, his first 7-8 weeks has been outstanding, and he's been that way all through the pre-season. I've never seen him in such good nick. He just turned up in fantastic order, and again set the example to his teammates about what the standard is.
Coming to this point in the season, and given how well everything's been going, does it change expectations or anything like that from an inward point of view?
No, everyone keeps asking me that question. No, we concentrate on the next game, because that's, from where we've been historically, we can't sit back and go, right, we're 5-2, so let's plan to make finals now. We just got to keep trying to win every time that we play, and then, hopefully we do well enough to at some point in time get there. But our focus is so short term, and it's got to stay that way, because we're just a young developing team, and the minute we start thinking about things that take your mind off what you need to do on any given weekend, then we could find ourselves in trouble. So we don't talk about that at all.
Bags, it's the Lions' first game down in Ballarat. You're hoping lots of the country Victorian fans will come out and support us?
Yeah, hopefully. I imagine a town like Ballarat's a real sporting town. Obviously all the Bulldogs supporters turn up, but hopefully there's a lot of Lions there as well making a noise. The ground looks like it's in fantastic condition surface-wise, so and all the other facilities are first class, so we're really looking forward to the opportunity to go there and play.